E3 is finally here, and that can only mean one thing: wild, rampant speculation, followed by bitter disappointment. Now, since I self-identify as a gaming YouTuber, it is required by law for me to make an E3 video. But I want to do something a little different than just the typical, here's my top 10 most anticipated games that you definitely care about. I want to do things that should 100% happen at E3, but absolutely will not.
The Pokemon Direct is on the 5th of June, a couple days before E3 begins, and will bring some big news about Sword and Shield. But you know what should totally happen but won't? The gym system in the game being mini tournament brackets. So in the only trailer we've gotten, there is clearly an emphasis on public battles. The gyms are giant stadiums, which could mean that the gyms are spectator sports. The system I would do a blood ritual on my dog for is bringing back the tournament system of Black and White 2. Every gym you enter is an 8-person bracket, and you're allowed to bring 3 of your 6 Pokemon with you, which would give the tournament a little replay value, as the other trainers would have their own 6 to choose from. And the final match, or the winner of the bracket, could challenge the gym leader.
But the kicker would be that every gym tournament you enter, your rival would enter as well. So instead of the rival battles being on random routes, you would actually be able to look forward to them being on this big grand stage. But, you know, that will never happen, so anyway.
You know what else would be super cool? If there was no celebrity on-stage presenters or stage demos. Now, the reaction on Twitter during a live stage demo is great, but deep down, as a production guy, I just get tons of anxiety for the control room guys when things go wrong. Also, please stop having celebrities do presentations. I don't really care that they don't play games, but they're usually tone deaf to the atmosphere of E3 and give me even more anxiety from all the awkward. I'll still never forget when Joe McHale hosted Spike TV's last VGX Awards, because I still haven't recovered since.
Square Enix is poised to have a massive showcase this year, with their publishing arm going strong and new IPs coming down the pipeline, but I feel like there's this looming cloud hanging above my expectations for it, and that's the state of the Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Square should release the entire game at once, but they said after we got the trailer last month that the game was going to be broken into multiple releases, and oh my god, why? This is the opposite of what needs to happen. Not only has it been proven by the episodic game company Telltale that the consumer retention rate is very bad for multi-month releases, but this isn't just going to be a normal multi-month release. This is going to be an every 2 to 4 year release. We can break it down from the trailer. We've seen nothing but Midgar so far, and the Midgar section takes up about 5 to 7 hours of the original game. Are they about to stretch the beginning of 7 out to make it about 20 to 30 hours? That I can't really say just yet. But 7 is a huge game, and if they believe the average consumer will keep dropping $60 every year just to get a fragment of a story they could easily play on any other platform, they're crazy.
Another thing, Square is notorious for setting unrealistic sales numbers for their games. I know that they publish Life is Strange, so maybe they're ready for that drop-off because of like previous experiences, but I just can't help but shake the feeling that a higher-up will not be too happy if their multi-million-dollar investment that's based solely on fan service doesn't live up to expectations.
And to the people saying this game will be fine, it's Final Fantasy VII, it's the best game ever made, I say this: Final Fantasy VII was a product of its time, a grand RPG which is the sole reason for the popularization of the entire genre. This is not made for the fans of that game. This is a game being made for a new audience. From the real-time combat to the other differences we've seen so far, it feels like a boardroom wants to recapture Lightning, but has forgotten why the first game was so good. But this opinion may change when Square's press conference is over. We'll see. And a little side note, while not a one-for-one comparison, here's the sales numbers of the Final Fantasy XIII trilogy. Just some info to marinate on.
So now I realize that that kind of derailed from just E3 to more me dunking on the 7 remake. So, you know, it's whatever. I think it's a real thing to be worried about, and you know, at least we've got Shadowbringers to look forward to. So, not all is lost.
And here's a little bonus round. Microsoft should absolutely call their next console the Xbox 2, because then we can call it the Dos Exies. You heard it here first, folks.
So that is what I believe should absolutely happen, but it's guaranteed it will not happen. So what are some of your lavish expectations? Let me know. And until then, happy E3.